Welcome to another episode of TeeVo The Beard.
You can't see us, but I'm TeeVo, and that is The Beard.
And I kind of wish this was our 100th episode, because that would have been perfect, synchronicity there.
Oh, yeah. So, what 100th meaning? It was 100 episodes of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, finally.
They made it.
They made it.
So, well, in the old days of television, that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's still a big deal in today's, but when you cross a certain line in old television, i.e. probably... pre-2000s.
Yeah.
I mean, syndication.
Exactly.
Because no TV show is going to syndicate a one-season episode and show the same 20-something episodes every week.
Right, exactly.
So you want to hit a certain mark because TV, networks will syndicate you, meaning they get to show your show all the time.
Right.
That's a little different now with streaming, but still, it's a milestone to be a part of 100 episodes.
And it means when you're watching reruns of S.H.I.E.L.D. on CW, there's more for them to rerun now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But... oh wow!
Yeah. So,
when they did say this was going to be like a love letter to the fans,
right?
A nice callback, and that it was.
Now, since we're going to get this episode is going to be very spoilerful because I don't know any other way to talk about this episode.
No.
So first, let's talk about anything you've recently seen that you'd like to recommend.
Well, I did watch all of Jessica Jones season 2.
Right, which is supposed to be darker and grittier.
Yes.
Which is hard to believe after the first season.
Well, I mean, you know what Marvel does well for me personally.
Yeah.
And I know I've said it many times, but I like to reiterate it when something new happens.
Okay.
As in a new season, new show.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they make characters, for the most part, that I care about.
Right.
So I care about what happens to them.
Yeah.
No matter, sometimes I don't look for a very particular thing. Like I know the main critique, if you go online, you Google Jessica Jones season 2 reviews.
Yeah.
A lot of it's going to say it's a weaker season because of no Kilgrave.
Right, yeah.
Well, thank you for enjoying David Tennant that much. But her story is more than just Kilgrave.
It is. I mean, it's in the title. It's Jessica Jones.
Yeah. So what they do in this season, and if I can vaguely summarize it, it deals with Jessica's past.
Okay.
So in that, I already know. Well, no Kilgrave, but
is it like a prequel or like flashbacks?
I mean, there's a flashback episode.
Okay.
But it's definitely not a prequel.
Okay. So it's not like season 0.1.
No.
Yeah, okay.
It's definitely season 2.
Oh, okay, good.
But, I care about Jessica's journey. So even though there's no David Tennant for you to watch, but hey, they already spoiled it for you. He does make an appearance. I won't tell you how.
Okay, good.
But they did let that cat out of the bag, but they won't tell you how. But I mean,
they still want you to watch it.
You saw what happened, so you can only guess the amount of ways he can come back on the show.
Right? Yeah, because he's not actually the doctor.
No, he's not. But I do care, and that's not just with Jessica. That's with for the most part all of Marvel.
Right.
That's why when they bring new stuff, I like it because it gives the characters new challenges. I thought of it as I showered this morning.
Okay. For
the most part with DC, mostly CWDC, it's like that friend that you have that had all these nice toys.
Yeah.
But you don't really like that person.
But you want to play with the toys?
You just want to play with the toys.
Right, yeah.
So minus Supergirl, Flash.
And if you don't know who this friend is, you were that friend.
Yeah. So, Flash, it's like that person. Well, with Marvel, I actually want to play.
Yeah.
They have cool toys.
You want to buy the toys.
I have cool toys, and
yeah, I
want to be their friend.
Yeah.
That's how it is so far, but we'll talk about Jessica if anybody's interested in another episode.
Yeah.
Excuse me! Spoiler alert!
Now we can segue into the spoilerful...
Sadly, not really, but...
Yeah, recap of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the 100th episode.
100th episode, and the first thing that caught my eye was the whole interdimensional fear dimension rift.
Yeah.
I was like, what show are we in? But I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that...
Because this is not so... As strange as this show has gotten, and Coulson made a very fine point to say this as well. As strange as this has become, wow, this is something new. Yeah, no, it's...
Yeah, I thought this was going to be just a regular episode.
Well, just a celebratory regular episode.
Right, yeah.
Because it's the 100. Any show that goes to 100 episodes, they do something special.
Yeah, but I expected it to be like, okay, S.H.I.E.L.D's going to be trying to defend themselves from the government or trying to defeat this super bad enemy in just a very basic way, with the occasional maybe flashbacks to, hey, remember when we were defeating Hive?
Yeah. I almost forgot that the riff and the stones and the explosion from the last scene of the last episode.
Yeah.
Because when he explains, like, wait, where did this come from? Oh, wait, oh, yeah.
Well, I like that they did that because I remember watching the previous episode with Mrs. Beard when they brought the explosives into that room.
Yeah.
I looked at her and I said, they don't want to do that. That was a stupid thing to do, and it turned out I was right.
Yes.
So, thank you, Marvel.
But just there were many moments where, like you with last week's episode, there were lines that felt very meta.
Right.
And they're escaping me right now, but I couldn't help but notice there were a few of them there. Nicely put, though.
Yeah, because that's what they do well. It's like they know what's going on.
Yes.
Because like we talked about last week, this may be the final season.
Yes, and that's okay.
They know that this season is for the fans. New people aren't coming in right now. And for better or worse, however you want to see that. And so they put the meta stuff in there like a lot of shows do. Mm-hmm. But instead of breaking the fourth wall to do it, they fit it into actual conversation.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is one of the reasons it makes it hard to remember some of the meta lines.
But so the fear dimension basically, conveniently for us, that it manifests scary things that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. have.
And Deke.
And Deke.
Yeah.
Well,
I want to talk about his fear level first.
That our main characters have.
Mm-hmm.
So, for some it's Slash and Hive and Kree. Generic Kree soldier.
And I thought that Kree was actually there.
Same here.
Yeah. They did a very good job at fooling us, the viewers, watching this.
Well, that was a good opening, because the opening sequence of the show, it had the rubble where the rift is happening, and we see Lash. Yeah. And we have no idea. We're like, well, you're dead.
Right. Aren't you? Yeah.
And if you weren't, but you were a good guy, so should we be worried?
Right.
That was a weird thing. It's like, wait, but you ended up being a good guy.
Yeah.
So this might be a good thing for them. Oh.
Yeah, because we don't know about the fear thing yet at that point.
We did not. And Fitz, his only solution to close this rift is basically he needs to wonder who to sacrifice.
Right.
Because apparently they don't have the tools to have a remote to go in. But I think the rift broke those tools. Yeah,
and they have to throw this round doodad in there. Yeah, which is my favorite word from the show.
So of course, the one to step up to be willing to sacrifice himself is Coulson.
Yes, and now this is one of those times where we do have kind of like the omniscient audience part, because we know there's stuff going on with Coulson.
Yeah, we
don't know to the degree yet, but we know. No. We have a feeling we know why he's sacrificing himself.
Yes.
So,
and we do learn. When they said this episode will deal with his little deal with Ghost Rider, I thought it was going to be. I don't know what I thought. It's just the way they revealed it was different, but good different. It's
right.
Like, oh, okay. So basically his deal was that all the things that are keeping him alive from the alien parts, Ghost Rider can have it. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
So he's willing to sacrifice himself because he knows his time is
short,
very short. And and jumping ahead to the end, we still don't know if the clock is still ticking.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I like his line that. I really liked his line about he's accepting death. Doesn't mean he wants it to happen now.
Yeah, and I think he's not trying to rush it.
And I think that's kind of a healthy attitude for really anybody.
Yeah,
accept that.
And was that a meta line?
I don't know, but
I took the writers are like, we're accepting that this might be the last season, but we're not rushing things.
Yeah, not like we want it to happen. Right, but it's okay. It's okay if it is.
Yeah.
But still, I took it as like, I think everybody should have kind of a little bit of that attitude.
Yeah.
Except you're gonna die. Don't actively seek.
Right. Yeah.
How to die.
But I do love that. This is not something happening on Supergirl, because it was not puppy dogs and rainbows.
No.
Everybody was mad at Coulson.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like nobody took his side on it.
No, and Quake's little spiel before he really revealed what happened to him and Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
Very meta speech. There is no S.H.I.E.L.D. without Coulson.
Yeah, and that's very true.
Yeah, I mean, without Coulson, the show...
Yeah, because we're not looking, we talk about the season ending, we're not looking for, like, Agents the Next Generation or something to come after this.
Yeah. It's Coulson, and Coulson's why the show exists. Coulson's why I watch the show.
Right.
I mean, granted, the show was really good about making new characters that I care about.
Yeah.
So, but doesn't mean I want to see it sans Coulson.
Yeah. I mean, if you look back at, all the episodes we've talked about, the one that I don't remember if it's been on the show or before the show, but the one we've talked the least positive about was when Gemma was on another planet and Coulson was not really in the episode.
And a video.
Yeah.
so it shows how important old Coulson is.
Yeah. So
like RDJ may have his films, but Coulson, Clark Gregg has this show.
Exactly.
He can always have this show, no matter what.
Yep.
And that speech really was like, that's right.
Yeah.
That's it. And he passed out, and then he has to reveal exactly what's going on.
Because when you pass out, you don't really get to say who examined you and what they do. So they ended up finding out stuff that he didn't want to reveal.
No. So basically what I said was all the stuff that kept him alive post Loki. Mm-hmm. Well, it's gone.
Yeah.
So he figures this me sacrificing myself. That's perfect.
It's like if he dies then, if he dies later,
That's what's gonna happen, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
So before he goes, he has Deke do something.
Right.
And as
I
the
was
audience,
very confused.
Okay, and we're like, okay. Yeah. And then before that as well, he says, if I don't come back, you got to do the other thing.
No, I guessed what that one was.
Really?
Yeah, I guessed.
I was too busy worrying about Coulson because there are many times in the show that we know Coulson's gonna make it, but
we didn't know if he was gonna.
Honestly, because as the writer said, they did write the ending for the season to potentially be it.
Right, and we don't know what that means.
So kind of anything goes. And they didn't say who's in the end. Right. So this is one of the first few times I was like, is Coulson...
No one is safe.
Is Coulson going to make it?
Right.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, it was the wording he was using when talking to Fitz, though, talking about symbols and institutions and all that. I was like, he's talking about marriage. Now, I didn't think he meant soon. Yeah. I thought he meant like, hey, in the future.
In the finale.
Yeah.
When most things like that happen.
Have a big wedding episode in the finale. That's...
Yeah. And I would say, even though it's not really spoiling. I can't say it's a spoiler, but there was a name they omitted, that ABC omitted in, when they released Synopsize. Yeah. I think they're obliged to say who's in the episode, as in like guest stars and whatnot. Right. They omitted somebody. Yeah. Yeah. Because I didn't know. Okay. I didn't know that this person was coming back in any way. Otherwise, I would have said it.
Well, I haven't been reading Synopsize.
Well, obviously, you know how they do Synopsize. They say, in general, stuff happens, basically.
Right, yeah.
Stuff happens. By the way, it's 100th episode, and stuff happens. Right. So they never say exactly what's going to happen. When they list the cast, for the most part, they do list who's going to be in them. They omitted J. August Richards. Okay. So when I saw guest starring J. August Richards, I was like, wait, what? Yeah. Because all they put... in their synopsis was, Catherine Dent and, Jeff Ward as General Hale and Deke. Right. I was like, okay, so, it's going to be a very intimate episode with our characters. Right, yeah. So J. August Richards, I was like, okay, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I'm excited. And the first time we see J. August Richards, he is the illusion of manifested from the fear dimension. Right. So I was a little, I was like, oh... great that you're back, but no, I wanted you to be real. But it's okay. It's okay. You're back.
Right, yeah. At least the actor is there.
Yeah, the actor is there. Yeah. And that's when he gets really, really meta. Right. That speech with Fear Mike Peterson, and Coulson. Basically, he is trying to convince Coulson that this show, these events, those people...
all a dream.
All a dream. Yeah. You're still on the operating table. Yeah. And I'm thinking...
and we as viewers are like...
don't be it?
Is he?
Yeah. Well, A, do not do this, ABC.
Right.
But I appreciate that you're...
That is the cheapest way out.
That is the cheapest way out, but I appreciate that you're really convincing me.
We were more convinced than Coulson was.
Yes. Because, well, as a viewer, as you said, we have this omniscient view.
Yeah.
And we know that there are very little interactions between Marvel TV, particularly, this Marvel TV and the big movies.
Right.
So this explanation was like,
it fits.
It fits.
Yeah.
I don't want it to in every way, but
right.
But darn you, ABC, for making me believe.
Well, because they even do like little flashbacks to him on the table and all that. It's like, well, they're going through all this trouble, so is it?
The only thing that, but I know it's not a ABC S.H.I.E.L.D. problem. It was a life issue, but I think that scene would have really punched it in if they got Ron Glass to come back as the Doctor.
Yeah.
But R.I.P. Ron Glass.
Yeah, and it would have been tacky for them to CGI him into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
I'm sure they could have found somebody that had like eyes that are similar to his.
But had he been alive, I think that would have made it extra. Extra.
Then we really would have believed it 100%.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But I sat there for however long that scene goes, and just like
Well, it seemed like that scene lasted forever.
It did, because
in a good way.
We're thinking like yeah.
Because he's like he tells Coulson that you make these different scenarios, and when you get done with one, you move on to the next.
Exactly,
and it's like that's what the seasons are doing.
The character manifestations are what they want. Especially it hit home with Quake is like
the daughter he never had,
and just little lines like, come on, do you really think your head lit up on fire? It's like, well, I thought it made sense,
right? Yeah.
I thought that was perfectly sensible.
Right.
But is it? But we have a Quinjet arriving. And turns out Deke's assignment was to gather a bunch of people.
Along with a bag of supplies.
Yeah. And in comes out, was my wish.
From S.H.I.E.L.D. 313.
From S.H.I.E.L.D. past, we have finally Deathlock.
Yep. And a bunch of no-name people.
And I didn't care.
Right. But it just seemed weird that it was like, okay, we got all these no-name people, and we're going to focus on one.
Yes.
One person.
But that's
and it was the person you wanted. So
it was the person, but he hasn't been there in a while.
No, it's true, yeah.
In a while.
Yeah.
And there are many times, whether it be just talking social with people or on our little podcast here.
Yeah.
I've been wanting Deathlock back.
Yeah.
In some fashion.
You need some closure.
And we got it here.
Yep.
And he goes to rescue Coulson in the Fear Dimension Express.
Yeah.
And Deathlock got to do Deathlock things. And
he was a bit of a ballerina.
He was,
or a gymnast or something. He's agile.
He's had some years to get some upgrades.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't like that in the first season.
But I don't know if he had a stunt double or if he was doing some of his own work. But that was very impressive.
It was very, very good. We know where they spent their money.
Yeah. Because it wasn't all on the special effects. Some of those weren't their best.
But it was okay.
It was, yeah.
But and obviously not just special effects, but I feel like they spent all their money on Deathlock. That when Hive showed up, as promised in the trailer,
for like 2 seconds,
very 2 seconds, it was not Brett Dalton at all.
It was not.
Nor did it even sound like him because he didn't even say anything.
Right.
So obviously they had no money to pay Brett Dalton. Or Hallmark. Hallmark was a little too busy with Brett Dalton.
Well, Hallmark is like, we need all of our white actors over here, so we're going to hold on to them for a minute.
But, Brett Dalton was on recently, and J. August Richards hasn't been on for a while, so I feel like for the 100th, this was due.
Right, yeah. And we still got a view of Hive for 2 seconds. But
now, that does mean that, Brett Dalton should come back before it's all said and done. Well, he better.
Right.
Well, honestly, even though, because I thought, wait, is Deathlock joining the show from here on out? That's not the craziest thing, but they made it very clear.
Yeah.
He's leaving.
They did not tease us on that one.
No, he's leaving after this.
Yeah.
He's solo. I still want him back before it's all said.
So maybe a Deathlock movie?
TV special?
TV special? Yeah.
Miniseries?
They could do a web series like they did with Yo-Yo.
They could.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I still want him back before it's all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
But it was nice to finally see him again.
Yes.
Because he is only here for the festivities. After he's done rescuing Coulson, he's going to stay for festivities, and then he's out of here.
Yep.
What festivities?
Well, they have to go to Deke's fear level.
Yes.
And Deke, who has grown up in the lighthouse his entire life in the future, is afraid of nature, I guess.
I mean, that's very reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's trees, it's a big field, it's all just this gorgeous place, and I thought that was a funny addition there to give Deke that fear.
Deke had some very memorable things in this. Had some very memorable moments in this episode.
He picked up some Zima.
Yep. And earlier in the episode, when Fitz was talking about someone has to be sacrificed, he looked at Deke and said, "Deke, I need you." Whoa.
Yeah.
And went on a very...
Deke did not step up.
Well, and it feels like he had that speech ready to say.
Right.
Because he said, "Hey, I already did the sacrifice, and that's how I got here.
Right.
So no thanks. I just found a place where like ice cream and orange scent exists.
Yeah.
I'm not going." And he was just like, I just need your belt.
Right, yeah.
And
then he's like, yeah, anything for the team.
Yeah. And when they were about to go to the festivities, they were saying, and by they, Fitz and Coulson were saying, "Oh, it's a good thing we got this one guy." And Deke's like, I know. I couldn't believe it too.
Yeah.
You know, whenever I did this and that and said this and that, I didn't know this was going to happen. They were just like...
Humble is not in his vocabulary.
No. And then quickly they shot him down.
Yeah.
You were talking about Deathlock, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was too.
Yeah.
And,
And so at this point, I mean, I kind of had an idea what the festivities were.
Well...
But it still could have been anything.
It could have been anything, but, once Fitz put on his jacket...
Yeah, the jacket was the key.
It was like, oh.
Yeah.
And, you got to cap out something sentimental for the 100th episode.
Yeah. Even though I still kept waiting for, like, something big and bad to happen at the end.
Well, yeah. I like that it was... For all intents and purposes, it made sense, this, fear dimension rift, but I like it was a contained episode.
Yeah.
And I like that it was all in the lighthouse.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from the parts when you see Deke leave, it was pretty much in one setting.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But the festivities is that...
Yeah, Fitz and Simmons are finally getting hitched.
I hope
Coulson is the one proceeding.
I hope in their universe, when they change their names, they actually...
It's Fitz-Simmons?
Or just
Fitz Simmons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They both change their names, because why not?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what everybody calls him anyway.
Exactly, so...
Except when May got mad at Fitz and called him Leopold. In this
episode.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, okay.
How many times have we heard...
Mom's mad now.
How many times have we heard Leopold? Very little.
Yeah, I forget he has a first name.
Well, you also forget it's Leopold.
Yeah, not just Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when she said that, I was like, hey, Mom's mad, everybody calm down.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, back to the wedding.
They get hitched. Obviously, on the bride's side, she has Quake and May. And on the groom's side, there's Mac and a random guy.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah.
That was the one weird part about that scene.
He's some extra somewhere.
That got really lucky.
Yeah.
Now, it could have been one of the random people they were talking about when they were saying Deathlock helped so-and-so and so.
Right.
Could have been that guy. I might have to rewatch some episodes, see if that guy was in.
He was probably like in one minor scene in like season 1.
There was another agent that was credited alongside Agent Piper whenever they did the Hive arc.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he couldn't be those guys, but it still was random. It was like, oh, okay.
It's like,
there was like a lot of people that came off that plane.
Yeah.
I thought,
and they're all gone.
They all apparently don't care.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're like, hey, we're gonna get you rescued. By the way, there's a wedding.
Yeah, okay. we weren't invited. It's fine.
or of who?
Yeah. Who's Fitzsimmons?
And the people that are just purely spectating are Deathlock and Deke, who I wish, if there is going to be a spin-off show or a S.H.I.E.L.D. Next Gen.
You want a buddy cop situation with them?
Well, I love how in the middle of this very touching wedding for the audience and them, they've been through a lot. That Deke's just like, so you like full cyber? Yep.
He's just having a full conversation with them.
But I like that it wasn't the smaller guy annoying the bigger guy, Deathlock had questions too.
Yeah.
I like that. So,
And Deke was like bride side or groom side.
I know both.
Yeah.
So, you got the rings?
Yeah.
And that is when they...
That's when it hit the fan.
Because when you thought that it was just a nice sentimental thing, they drop a bomb on us.
Yep.
A good bomb.
Yeah.
Not a bad guy bomb.
Yep.
But something that, should have... You feel like you should have seen coming.
Yeah.
You feel like you should have, but you didn't.
Not at all.
And it's okay.
Yeah. In fact, it's
because
better
when
than okay.
Yeah, when Deathlock asks, so you got the rings, he's like, yeah, I had to find ring spawn for Fitz's girl hands.
Yeah.
And I also found one that for Simmons that looked like one my grandma used to wear.
Yeah, and when he said that, I was like, no, that's pure coincidence.
Yeah.
They're not going there with this. And
I will say, while I like that when General Hale was looking, for stuff on Deke, the only thing they could find was like a genetic match.
Yeah.
And she's like, how many? 1? No, 2. And
bum, bum.
I actually wish they just left it at the rings.
Yeah.
In that maybe I'm watching too many British TV shows that are very subtle about those things.
Yeah, they were just kind of driving it home there.
Yeah.
It's like, in case you didn't catch that a minute ago, he was talking about Fitz and Simmons being his grandparents.
Because a lot of people peg that Deke being in the past, we were going to see maybe, could we see Deke's parents? Could we see some ancestors of Deke?
Mm-hmm.
We've
been watching to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I can't wait till he figures it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm with you, though. I wish that, because if I remember the line order right, he said that it reminded him of his grandmother's ring. And then he asked if, do you know the bride or groom? And he said, I don't really know either one of them.
Yeah.
And I wish they would have left it like right at that.
Yeah. Yeah. But, this is cultural TV.
Yeah.
Because I think if it was in Britain, that would have been it.
Oh, definitely.
But, they were like, it's like you said, it's like, in case you didn't get that.
Here, we are literally going to show it to you on this tablet screen.
Exactly. So it was right after the episode aired. I first asked, did you watch it?
Right.
I texted you, did you watch it? And obviously, the only thing I could say, 2 things I could say was Deathlock.
Yeah. And
Deke just got 100 times more important.
Yep.
But, yay, Deke.
Yeah.
He was... But I guess that's what's great about this show. Sometimes they write people you don't like at first.
Right, yeah.
And then you like them, and then the complete other way around as well.
And his has been like a roller coaster. It's like from episode to episode, we weren't sure if we liked him or not. But
it does explain again. I said this last week. So you're in the past, and obviously they shoot episodes before it airs. That's logical.
Yeah. Be hard to shoot them after they air.
But I noticed from all their social medias, from what they can post, that Jeff Ward is still around. I was like, so unless he's hanging out. But again,
he's hanging out all right.
But
on the screen.
Again, I didn't expect that.
No.
But it's like I said, I feel like I should have.
Yeah.
I should have.
I kind of want to go rewatch this season and be like, okay, where are the clues that I missed?
But maybe it was on purpose. He barely had scenes with Fitzsimmons.
Right. Yeah, and it's always just been Deke. There's no surname to it.
Well, he does. Whenever in the police station, Deke Shaw.
Yeah. But it's like it's not emphasized or anything.
No.
But,
But there were moments maybe before where I was looking at it. I was like, Deke Shaw. Well, we don't know any Shaws, but whatever. Right. Shaws, don't care.
Yeah, no family tree there. It's fine. Yeah.
But yeah. Well, so will we? So obviously we won't be meeting his parents unless they do a time jump.
Right.
But yeah, I can't wait till he finds out.
No, it'll be good. Yeah.
And it's gonna be. It would be a very big sacrifice play if they try to do a sacrifice play for Deke one last time. Right. That he saves Fitzsimmons, because without Fitzsimmons, if he doesn't save him,
he can't exist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's gonna. I feel like that's coming.
Yeah.
In some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Whether he actually sacrifices him, whether they actually kill him.
Mm-hmm.
That's to be determined, but right. I feel like that line's going to happen somehow in the finales.
Yeah.
And I say finales as in, like, could it be the final episode, or the penultimate, or the penultimate?
Yeah.
But I feel like that's going to come somehow.
It'll probably be within the last 3 episodes of this season.
Could be. Yeah. So what do you feel about Coulson? he's still around, but
yeah,
he still has a problem.
I mean, I think that if they are going to end the series, it wouldn't be the worst thing to kill him off.
No.
Because then...
But they do emphasize, the writers do emphasize, sure, they wrote it to where it ends, but,
right.
you know, they're going to leave a little breadcrumbs in case.
Right. But that breadcrumb could be Quake.
It could.
They could be thinking,
this could be it.
The next generation.
This could be it.
Yeah.
We don't know. They could already be throwing bread on for pigetons.
Right, yeah. This is that first crumb that we're picking up.
We just think it's just trash on the ground.
Exactly, yeah. No, I mean, I think that it'd be just a good way to end. I mean, it would be a heartbreaking way to end it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, no, that's actually actual closure.
Yeah.
So even if it did continue for season 6, you know, starting Quake,
yeah,
we wouldn't keep wondering, well, is Coulson ever coming back?
Yeah.
You know, it would be done.
But then again, you know, even though it's not Joss, it is still Whedon, and this is the man that killed Buffy in a show called Buffy.
That's true.
Sure, he also brought her back.
Right, yeah.
In the very next episode, but still, he did it.
Yeah.
Because you think, oh, no, you can't kill the title character.
Oh, Whedon will kill any character off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, let's not put the past, though.
That's true, yeah.
But from next episode's preview, it just seems like they're going to continue. It looks like they're going to continue on this little fear dimension rift thing.
Yeah.
Even though it's closed, they got to deal with stuff.
Well, Fitz even said, you know, that he needed more gravitonium and, you know.
It was just the doodad was a Band-Aid.
Yeah, it was a temporary fix there. That rift, I'm not sure how caught up you are on other Doctor episodes, but that rift looked very familiar to me from the Matt Smith seasons.
The Time Lord rift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but then again,
I mean, the Doctor in here to fix this.
But then again, I mean, I bet like smarter people are like, well, how many ways do you think Rift's going to look like?
Yeah, no. It's definitely a connection that only people in both fandoms will make. But
yes.
Yeah, I don't think they were copying them. But it was like that. I know who can fix this. Yeah.
Well, hey, you know, it's Fitz without being a Time Lord.
Right. Yeah.
He did a pretty good job. So I think
Unless he is a Time Lord.
I think he's okay.
Yeah. No.
Well, he did travel in time.
That's true.
So
technically a Time Lord.
There you go. He did not age.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. So get all sorts of conspiracy theories going here.
There you go. And British.
Yes, and there. So that's
Scott. I know. If anybody's listening internationally.
Well, British is Scottish. It's English.
Yeah.
English and Scottish
from
is British.
Great Britain.
Yeah.
From Great Britain.
He's as Scottish as David Tennant and Peter Capaldi. So.
Yes. From Great Britain.
Yes. So, but
do you have any kind of notion now we know? Now that I think the space stuff has finally really settled.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think introducing Coulson's dire situation and the sphere dimension thing. How do you feel about what's going to happen in the next few episodes? Because winding down.
I mean, yeah,
March.
This is one of those times where I actually have no clue what's going to happen. I mean, I don't even know what to speculate. I hope we see Yo-Yo back up.
Yeah,
because she was in this episode.
She was.
She's still armless.
Gotta suck for that actress.
But that's never stopped anybody before in this show. Being
gotta
armless.
suck for that actress, though.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, yay, pretty much my scenes I get to lay down while you guys have to do the running.
Right, but we're going to smother you with a pillow for a little bit.
Yeah.
So
you get a little action there.
Yeah.
Same here. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, they could go...
I don't know what's going to happen in plot, but I just know what I want to see. And, you know, if it's really their end and they sense that, you know, obviously before they finish production, I hope there's some surprises.
Yeah, and I mean,
because I even look back at those synopses for this past episode to make sure, because I forgot reading Joel David Moore for the last episode. I was like, oh, is this a surprise? Oh no, you were there.
Yeah,
you were just towards the end.
Right.
So I made sure. I was like, did I'm pretty sure I would have remembered seeing J. August Richards.
Right.
So
he does have one of those names.
Yeah, and no, it's not there. I checked.
Okay.
His name wasn't there. They omitted it for a surprise.
Yeah.
A good surprise.
Good for them. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to these last episodes, whether they be last or quote unquote last.
Yeah.
And I've got to the point where I trust the writers. I trust that if this is the finale, that they're going to give us actual closure, that there's not going to be any loose ends that have to be tied up. I mean, there's still going to be stuff that we as fans can speculate on from here till the end of time.
Yeah.
You know.
But, you can't say that they haven't been trying to prepare us for maybe the one outcome we think is going to happen.
Yeah, if nothing else, this episode was definitely okay, guys, we need to have the talk.
Yeah. But until then, we'll just have to keep watching.
Yeah. See you next.